Good morning, everyone. I am Ranzi Torres from the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Social Studies for student at Negros Oriental State University, Shaton Campus. Today, I will be discussing my assigned topic in the course Ed 401, a field study 1, which is observation of teaching, learning in actual school environment. Unit 1, Theory to Practice, observing learners and classrooms in the Philippine education system. A K-12 curriculum, DepEd policies, and Matatag curriculum. Prior to proceeding, let me read to you first the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students are expected to explain how K-12 curriculum, Matatag curriculum, and DepEd selected policies have improved the educational system for student development. Design and present a visual output that illustrates the contributions of the K-12 curriculum, the Matatag curriculum, and DepEd policies to students' development, and express the importance of policies and curricula in shaping quality education by actively participating and sharing thoughtful insights during class discussion and reflection. Here's a quick overview of observing learners and classroom in the Philippine education system. According to DepEd 2015, observing learners and classroom in the Philippine education system is both a policy requirement and a tool for professional growth. DepEd mandates classroom observation through policies like the RPMS or Results-Based Performance Management System and the PPST or the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers using the Classroom Observation Tool or the COT to monitor the teaching quality. Classroom observation continues to play a vital role in fostering reflective practice and ensuring that reforms like the K-12 and Matatag curriculum are effectively implemented in schools, ultimately supporting the goal of delivering quality education to Filipino learners. Now, let's proceed to what's really K-12 curriculum, Matatag curriculum, and DepEd policies are, and what's their impact in the Philippine education system. We will have first the K-12 curriculum. K-12 program was established through Republic Act No. 10533 or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. During the administration of President Benigno Ninoy Aquino III, it added 2 years to previous 10 years basic education system. K-12 is consist of kindergarten, 6 years of elementary school, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school. The main goal is to give students more time to master knowledge and skills and prepare them for college employment, entrepreneurship, and further skills development. K-12 program redefines the traditional grading system by adding 2 additional grades, grade 11 and grade 12. Kindergarten, early childhood education focuses on developing foundational skills. Grades 1 to 6, elementary education focuses on fundamental subjects like math, science, English, and Filipino. Grades 7 to 10, junior high school, which include a more specialized curriculum and the introduction of tracks leading to specific career paths. Grade 11 to 12, senior high school, where students choose a specific strand, academic, technical, vocational, livelihood, and sports based on their interests and career aspirations. Here are the objectives and benefits of K-12 curriculum. It improves the quality of education. K-12 adds more years to basic education, giving students more time to learn important knowledge and skills. Second, enhance global competitiveness. It prepares students with skills and knowledge that can help them complete and succeed both in the Philippines and abroad. And next is holistic development. K-12 develops not only students' academic abilities but also their emotional, social, and practical skills. And fourth is quality basic education. It aims to provide students with quality education that follows appropriate standards and prepares them for their future. Next is equitable access. K-12 aims to give all students regardless of their location or economic background an opportunity to receive quality education. And lastly is relevance. Senior high school prepares students for college employment, entrepreneurship, or further training, making education more useful for their future goals. Of course, there's also a challenges of K-12 curriculum. First is the resource gaps. Some schools still lack enough classroom, textbook, equipment, and specialized facilities, particularly for senior high school. This can lead to double shift classes and limited facilities for tracks such as TVL. Next is employment mismatch. Although K to 12 aim to make grade 12 graduate employable, such as employers still prefer college graduates, there are also weak connections between schools and industries, making it difficult for senior high school graduates to find jobs related to their skills. And heavy workload for teachers. Teachers handle not only classroom teaching but also numerous reports, documents, and administrative tasks. This can reduce the time they have for lesson preparation and focusing on the students. And the next is overloaded curriculum. The original K 12 curriculum contained too many competencies that teachers needed to teach within limited time. As a result, students sometimes had insufficient time to master important concepts. This contributed to the development of the Matatag curriculum, which aims to decongest the curriculum. In short, K 12 aims to improve Philippine education and make Filipino graduates globally competitive. However, challenges like limited resources, teachers' workload, employment mismatch, and curriculum overload shows the need for better support and resources. Is Matatag curriculum. The DepEd Matatag curriculum is a well-organized educational framework designed to improve the quality of teaching and learning in the Philippines. It recognizes the important role of teachers in student learning. The curriculum aims to develop new knowledge, adapt the societal changes, and align institutional curricular and instructional goals. The Matatag curriculum promotes teamwork, active teacher participation, and an integrated approach to provide students with well-rounded learning. The Matatag curriculum was created to address challenges in the Philippine education, including low student performance and skill gaps among graduates. It also promotes values and moral development through the integrations of the Values Education Act and Good Manners and Right Conduct, or the GMRC. Overall, the Matatag curriculums aims to improve education quality and prepare students with the knowledge, skills, and values needed for the challenges of the 21st century. Here are the four essentials component of Matatag curriculum. Make the curriculum relevant to produce competent and job-ready, active, and responsible citizens. Take steps to accelerate delivery of basic education facilities and services. Take good care of learners by promoting learners' well-being, inclusive education, and positive learning environment, and give support to teachers to teach better. There are 5 critical skills of Matatag curriculum. First is the language, mathematics, reading and literacy, makabansa, and proper behaviors and manners, and its phase implementation of Matatag curriculum. Here are the benefits of Matatag curriculum. As mentioned by the Department of Education, the Matatag curriculum focuses on improving the quality of basic education in the Philippines and offers several benefits, including accelerated facilities upgrade, accelerating the delivery of learning resources and services. Next is curriculum relevance, providing them with the skills they need to find work right away and become responsible citizens. Student support, fostering welcoming learning environments and inclusive education. And last is teacher support, raising the standards of instruction through further advantages and professional growth. Here are the challenges of Matatag curriculum. Although the Matatag curriculum seeks to simplify learning, strengthen foundational skills, and promote values formation, challenges in its rollout and implementations remain for students, teachers, and schools. First is the resource gap. Updated textbook, teachers' guides, and aligned assessments are needed, but procurement and distribution often face delays, according to EDCOM 2 2023. Second is the gradual rollouts. The new curriculum will only be fully applied by 2028 to 2029. During this time, some students and teachers will follow the old K to 12 and others follow Matatag, which may cause confusions according to DepEd 2023. Risk of confusion. Different grade levels may be followed K to 12 versus new Matatag standard during transition. And last is transition issues. Teachers need retraining to use the new decongested curriculum. Without training, some may struggle to adjust, according to DepEd 2023. The Matatag curriculum focuses on essential skills, values, and deeper learning, ensuring that students gain both academic mastery, life readiness, but it has challenges especially in implementing it since it takes time for fully implementations. Next is DepEd policies. DepEd policies are official rules and guidelines issued by the Department of Education to manage and improve the Philippine basic education system. They cover curriculum teaching, standards assessment, schools management, learning protection, and teachers development. These policies provide a framework for schools to ensure safe, inclusive, standardized, and quality education. They also promote programs such as ALS, IPED, and SPED while protecting learners through child protection and anti-bullying policies. Here are some examples of DepEd orders. DepEd Order number 3 series of 2021, DepEd Order number 55 series of 2013, and DepEd Order number 22 series of 2011. First, we have DepEd Order number 3 series of 2021, creation of the Child Protection Unit and the Child Rights in Education Desk in the Department of Education. This body serves to institutionalize child protection and rights within DepEd by coordinating programs, policies, and activities related to child safety and welfare, reinforcing to zero tolerance stance toward all forms of violence and abuse in schools. Next is DepEd Order 55 series of 2013, implementing rules and regulations, IRR or Republic Act number 10627, otherwise known as the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. This order lays down the IRR for the Anti-Bullying Act, mandating that all elementary and secondary schools adopt specific policies to prevent and address bullying, define prohibited behaviors, and establish mechanisms for reporting, intervention, and data confidentiality. The next is DepEd Order number 32 series of 2011, Policies and Guidelines on Training and Development, T&D programs and activities. DepEd Order 32 series of 2011 ensures that DepEd's training programs for teachers and staff are systematic, effective, and aligned with the department's vision of quality education. Here are the challenges in implementing this policy. Policy practice gap. Some policies are strong on paper but weak in actual implementation. Next is funding issues. Limited budget for full nationwide execution, example lack of SPED teachers, and bureaucracy. Teachers burdened with compliance reports instead of focusing on teaching. And the last is inequity. Rural and far-flung schools often left behind despite policies. DepEd policies are the rules and guidelines that guide how education is delivered in the Philippines, ensuring that schools are safe, effective, and aligned with national education goals. In conclusion, while the K-12 curriculum in the Philippines was designed with the intent of making the education system globally competitive in alignment with international standards, and the equipping of learners with 21st century skills, it was however criticized for being overloaded and under-resourced, thus limiting mastery and placing a challenge on both the shoulders of the learners and the teachers. The Matatag curriculum was then created to fill in these gaps through focusing on less but deeper learning, mastery of essential skills, and values formation, though its success depends on the teacher's readiness, resource support, and smooth nationwide transition. Other policies from DepEd aim to standardize education, socially protect learners, and substantiate teachers through common guidelines and professional development. But it also faces a challenge in execution by inefficient processes, funding limitations, and unequal implementation across regions. And that's it for my assigned topic. Here are my references, and that would be all. Thank you.